Hello BookTube, hello book friends, welcome back to my channel and another video, and this one links to A Dickens at Christmas. So as you may or may not know, I am hosting a reading event in December called A Dickens at Christmas, where the aim is just to get you to read anything about Dickens or do something related to Dickens, watch a film, watch a play. The 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 playing field is completely open in terms of what you do, just so long as it is related in some way to Charles Dickens. So you don't have to read one of his novels. You could watch a film or a play, as I say, or just read a short story, read a Christmas Carol. Anything will do. But I thought I would come on today and just give you 4 ideas, two non-fiction books that are related to one another, and two films. So just some things that I will probably be touching on during A Dickens at Christmas, but they're just ideas for you guys out there. As you probably know, there is a group read of the Pickwick Papers. If you're interested in joining and you haven't already signed up, and want to be in the Voxer group where we will talk about it, let me know, drop me a comment below or contact me on Voxer. My details are in the video description. But otherwise, what am I suggesting you might read that wasn't written by Dickens but is about Dickens? I've got two books for you, both by the same author. The first is Becoming Dickens by Robert Douglas Fairhurst. The author is a Dickens scholar at Oxford University, so he knows a fair bit about Dickens and other literary authors as well. But this is kind of Dickens's early life. How did he become the author we know as Charles Dickens? If you don't know much about Dickens's childhood, he came from a background where both his parents were committed to a debtor's prison. Dickens had to go and work in a blacking factory to help pay off the family debt. So there's quite a lot to Dickens's background that perhaps isn't well known. And this book explores the kind of early emergent stages of Dickens's writing career. And as you would expect, there is a chapter in here on the Pickwick Papers, because that was Dickens's first novel, albeit published as a serial in a magazine. But yeah, this is, if you want to know how Charles Dickens became that author, this is a good book to read. And then following that is a kind of not as much a sequel, but a look later into Dickens's life when he's a bit more established, and that's The Turning Point, also written by Robert Douglas Fairhurst. I can't find my copy, annoyingly, so I can't hold it up. I'm hoping now I've recorded this video, it will miraculously appear. I'm sure it's just one of those books that I've probably actually moved it 2 or 3 times looking for it on my shelves, but I couldn't find it. I know I've got a copy, but I don't know where it is. So, yeah, that, as I say, is set a little bit later in Dickens's life, in the early 1850s, where there was a lot generally going on in the country, as well as going on with Dickens's life. It was a time when he was suffering a couple of bereavements. There was a lot happening in his life outside of his writing. So again, worth watching. So what about films? Well, I've got a couple for you. The first of those films is an adaptation of A Christmas Carol that is a particular favourite of mine, and features some puppets. And it is, of course, The Muppets Christmas Carol, with Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge, Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit, and lots of the other Muppets as the various characters, the three ghosts. I think everybody else pretty much in the film is played by one of the Muppets other than Scrooge, who's played by Michael Caine. So yeah, thoroughly recommend it. Yes, it's a light-hearted take on the Muppets, but you know, at the end of the day, why not? Why do you have to have you know, serious, dry productions of what is effectively quite a fun ghost story? And then the final film I have got for you is one that perhaps you haven't heard of, but also relates to The Christmas Carol, but from a different perspective. And this focuses on Dickens's writing of that story, and it is The Man Who Invented Christmas. It's got quite a interesting cast. Not many actors who I recognised in some of the kind of principal parts, but as Jonathan Pryce, Christopher Plummer, you know, some fairly serious actors, and it looks at Dickens's life when he was trying to write that story, and it's both light-hearted and serious. And as I say, I would recommend it. So, just some ideas. I'd be interested to hear what you've got planned if you're not reading the Pickwick Papers or A Christmas Carol. What are your plans for reading anything related to or written by Charles Dickens, or are you going to see a play, or are you going to watch a film? What are you going to be doing? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have been, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.